there is maybe 2 apples in this entire block. Light year. Shout out to the local guys at Green Mark, Sodas location. I'm over in the All Clear farm right now, and this thing broke. So I'm only about 5 minutes away. Drove over there, ran in real quick. I swear they had this thing fixed before I walked out the door. Now we're back to it. Let me know if you can or can't do this, but we just ran a red light in the tractor. All right, so it's the next day. So the chopper is just not running right. So open the silver top. A little piece keeps sliding back and the bolts are rubbing against the other bolts. So we tightened some stuff, checked some things, and keep running. So this is what was hitting. And it was hitting these little bolts that come back to here. So I keep screwing with this. So you can see in here, it's sitting in a little bit there, but it's been sitting like this. It's a little too far out, I think. So I'm trying to pull this back. But every time I do that, it still seems to be sliding. So I can't figure that out. Covered up some grapes. We're gonna get this block low, so as soon as Brian sells grapes, he can run into here and throw some apples in. So Dad came in and says windshield wiper fluid wasn't working. I'll come to find out. As you can see, right here is where the tanks normally are at. As you can see on mine, right here. Well, his must have caught something and just snapped it right off and pulled the hoses with it. So yeah, we need a whole new tank right here. But we just threw a cover on apples for this rain coming up. And I'm gonna run up to town, propane tanks, and we are broke again. As you can tell from all the oil on my hood. So same thing happened again. This piece broke off yesterday. This one on the other side snapped off. So, and these are kind of tight how they are, which I guess I can see how they're breaking, but maybe I need to find a different design. I wish there would be some more 90s, but there's not. So these things go straight. So you can see right here, these are breakaways. So if you do hit something side of a tree or something, just a little bit, this is supposed to come backwards. Well, every time it comes back, this is under a lot of tension and it's just snapping it. So we will get these all cut off again and down to a local hose shop, and they will make me a new one just like that. You did? Yes, I did. So it's 2 previous clips you just watched. One of them was us at the farmer's market this weekend. So this was our first weekend, went pretty good. We'll do some more videos of that going forward, but first weekend we were just trying to make sure we had everything set up, everything in the trucks, you know, just trying to focus, make sure we're good for the start. And then that tractor that I was videoing in is the new John Deere 5105 EN. So it is not really out there yet. It is a prototype. Our local dealer had one around for us to kind of come look at, drive around the lot a little bit, and hopefully that tractor will make its way out here so we can run a demo. So we just put another thinner on that small gala block in the back that we don't want any apples on. That is the only thing that needs to be thinned this year, and it's the only thing I can't get the apples off of. The next video, we are going to talk about the fruit set on the farm. You're going to want to listen to this one. So we bought a new shaft. The mechanics thought that this shaft is supposed to come in and out. It is not, because this middle piece sways, so this part's actually supposed to be solid. This part comes in and out. So the old shaft is back on. We replaced the bolt. Is that the problem? I don't know. But looking at the old bolt, the whole issue again is this was backing up far enough that spline was coming in and allowing this to go down to where it was hitting these bolts. And even with that bolt, you tighten it on there, it still shows some play. I think that's just how it is though, but still not enough where this should be getting backed up way deep into here. But looking at this bolt right here, these deep grooves. So I think it was getting into these grooves and allowing it to slide back that way. I could be wrong. I'm hoping it's that easy of a fix. We're gonna find out though. We are back from weekend 2 of markets. I got my little digital measuring device to see if the millimeters are in the apples today. So we're in some galas, and as you can see, there's just too much fruit. And I did thin these once already with some NAA and carbaryl, and you can see from the ground, really nothing came off. And I did it both times, some really hot thinning windows, 80s and 90s, but after a couple of days of heat, we did cool back down, so did not have as good of action as I'd like to, and a lot of these are starting to be the exact same size, so there may be a few more that fall off, but groups like that, 3, I gotta knock at least one more, if not 2 off. I know you're maybe thinking, why do you want to thin them off? And if you don't thin them off, well, what happens? Well, if we don't thin these off, we're gonna get some small fruit. Small fruit doesn't really sell in stores that good, and you guys don't want to eat a small piece of fruit. So like on this branch, I really only want 3 or 4 apples, maybe 8 I could deal with, but that's over 20. That won't work. So I talked with my Wilbur rep this morning, and I'm gonna run over there and grab some Exceed, which is a new thinner that there's not a lot of research out there with yet, but it's the only one they say will come get some of this bigger fruit off, so we're gonna give it a shot. All right, so it happened quick. So we just had a pop-up shower, and it dropped hail on different parts of the area. So we're over at the Eau Claire farm now. We're looking at this new growth, which I'm not seeing any damage. You can see on some of the old growth where we had hail damage last time, but it's kind of calloused over. So some of this old growth, you can see where the hail was last time. Around those leaf edges, you can see it's all dead brown tissue. So we can't go off the old tissue, but we could. It would just be green if that tear happened. If you see a little tear like that, I just tore it now, but that green edging would mean it's fresh. But I'm not seeing any of that. See, here's a tip of, but that's old damage. Dad is headed to the back of the home farm because one of the neighbors said, we were in the office when all this happened, and we didn't hear any hail, so probably the front half of the farm didn't get any, but that back half, a neighbor said that he heard some, so he's gonna go back and check that. We're gonna go check the redbud and the Burgoyne farm, and hopefully, if there is any damage, it is minimal, but this may mean that we gotta run some sprayers tomorrow. And good news though, the cover crop that we planted in the alleyways is looking awesome. But that is gonna do it for this video, guys, so we will see you in the next one.